Hello, crypto fans. So let's jump into the top last week crypto fundamental news from 24th of November till 30th of November. We got awesome news. We've got more Ethereum bull news, and we also have BlackRock, how they're working with the crypto markets, and it's quite interesting. You'll see how things are going. And also we've got also Michael Saylor moments, which I will share later on. And we've got also more venture capitalists investing in crypto companies. So let's jump into the top 10 crypto fundamental news. And we start off by Ethereum. So Vitalik is and the team made some great progress. We have here Ethereum developers prep for Fusaka, which is gonna be, as they say here, on Wednesday. And also, what is Fusaka? Long story short, basically, the large transactions are going to have more availability and also less fees. So that is quite promising for Ethereum, big players to deal with Ethereum, and it's a bullish mark. I'll link all those in the description so you can have a look at it. And also, let's jump into the next news with BlackRock. So we see here 344 million in minutes. BlackRock dumps Bitcoin and Ethereum again. We've seen that. We felt it. As you see here, it's quite interesting how they create the dip and then reinvest in it. That's one point. But I have this news which I wanted to talk about. So Bitcoin ETFs are now BlackRock's top revenue source. That is quite interesting, isn't it? So we've got reached 70 billion in assets. So we have BlackRock ETFs have become the firm's top source with allocation nearly 100 billion. They made 245 million in annual fees. You see what is, did you read it? They basically, with their ETFs, their investors, they invest on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now probably they just sold off to take some profits, and then again they will reinvest. But they need to make a move soon because we've seen Saylor investing billion and more others taking advantage of this dip. So I don't know why I see soon that BlackRock is gonna probably invest big in Bitcoin and Ethereum because they like the profits, they made it, they sold off. See, those two news are kind of in a week's time, it connects with each other. So Arthur Hayes, now who's Arthur Hayes? Now he doubled down on 250K Bitcoin by year end. So he supports the idea that by the end of the year, it's going to reach 250K. Now, Arthur is one of famous who, since he's born in 1995, he was in TradFi, in traditional finance, and then switched to completely crypto. So in 2024, he co-founded BitMEX, and that's a large exchange. And we've seen more people like this. And also in this podcast, you've seen another who was in TradFi and now is fully crypto. So everyone, this is what's happening. We're going to the new currency. Crypto is staying, and you need to literally, understand it. It's the new currency. So that's quite interesting prediction. I do listen to people like him because they're living crypto, and they have some interesting news about the predictions. So let's jump into the next news. As I said, more crypto VC funding. Naver Financial acquires Dunamu for 10.3 billion. Fortify acquired for 100 million. So we have, they saw 10.46 billion on crypto companies. These are basically companies that involve in crypto, and we see more capitalists. Like as you see, Dunamu is a South Korean-based fintech and blockchain company and operates of Upbit cryptocurrency exchange. So we've seen large players here invest in crypto companies, and the adoption is coming. Crypto is here to stay, and these are all the fundamental news that you need to look at. So let's continue with Bitmine expands Ethereum Treasury holding with the latest 44 million Ethereum purchase. Tommy Lee here is awesome doing his purchases. And also we have the firm now holds 3.63 million in Ethereum, about 3% of supply moving closer. And with Fusaka upgrade, I see even more bull news from Bitmine. Let's jump into the next news. And also we've had Kyrgyzstan officially launched a gold-backed stablecoin. So gold is not going away, but it is going to be kryptonized. So as we see here, USD KG, yet another one, because there are several others that they do this. So they have their crypto backed by gold. And this is how basically gold will become digital in the blockchain, and that facilitates people to convert, in the blockchain to other cryptos and create some nice bullish trends. And also, we go into Michael Saylor moment. He basically said on a tweet recently, we discovered something better than Bitcoin, more Bitcoin. I really like his speeches, and let's go through one recent one that he said. This is quite interesting. Let's listen for a while.
For those who didn't guess, Bitcoin is digital capital. Capital, economic wealth, long-term store of value. People talk about a store of value asset. It's capital. What is 20th century capital? 20th century capital is equity. We call them the equity capital markets. Equity, private equity, public equity, real estate, sometimes art held as a store of value. It could be capital, maybe a sports team, gold. Capital is the left hand of money. The right hand of money is currency, medium of exchange, the dollar, the peso, the yen, the euro. Stable coins are currency. Bitcoin is capital. A lot of times people come to erroneous conclusions because they think about money and they think money is currency as opposed to money is capital. But of course, money could be used, the phrase could be used to refer to currency or to capital. It just happens that a lot of people are lazy thinkers and they insist upon interpreting it as currency when it should be capital, or interpreting it as capital when it should be currency. And well, Bitcoin must be awful because I can't buy coffee with it. But of course, Apple stock isn't awful because I can't buy coffee with it. But Apple.
So you see, that's quite eye-opening. I mean, when it comes to capital, Bitcoin is not something that you spend. You convert it into something like stablecoin pegged by USDT, pegged by dollar or Tron or basically another currency. You see what I mean? So you need to diversify these two things. I'll link that video in the description. So let's jump into the last two news. We have, despite disastrous stock crash, Metaplanet wants to buy more Bitcoin. Now, you might be wondering, who is Metaplanet? So let's jump in and I'll tell you in short who is Metaplanet. Metaplanet is a Japanese public company trading on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Okay, so they were in old finance, old TradFi, and basically in 2024, it underwent a major strategic pivot. It repositions itself as a Bitcoin treasury company. So we're talking about multi-million, probably billion company from TradFi switching to completely only a Bitcoin, treasury company. So I don't know what to say about the traditional stock. In my opinion, everything when it comes to stock is gonna become crypto. So Apple stocks are going to become crypto Apple stocks at some point. Remember my words. And as we see here, Metaplanet has raised an additional 130 million to find more Bitcoin purchases by executing a loan. So all these big players, making risks like that. I mean, we all can see future bull, run for Bitcoin. And finally, we have crypto payments firm Truther to launch non-custodial USDT Visa card in El Salvador. So we have more Visa partnerships. What we know, like Visa, banks, dollar, all this is becoming in the blockchain, is becoming cryptonized. And also, this is quite interesting because the card doesn't require preloading funds or custodial services and carries a 2% currency conversion. So basically, you don't need to, it doesn't charge, it's only charged upon purchase on the USDT. So that was it. If you have any question, drop them in the comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, learn, and share. Crypto Inspector is out, and you'll see me next week on the last week awesome fundamental crypto news. And I'm out.